Hello. Welcome back to LnL Vlogs. I'm Lily, and if you aren't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that. And if you already are, then welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another story time. This one's a really recent one, but it's also a good one, so buckle up. So before I get into it too much, I actually just hit 300 subscribers, which is really amazing because just probably a month ago I hit like 200. And I did like this whole like celebration thing for it, and I don't know if I'm going to or what I would do for 300 yet. If you haven't yet, make sure you like and subscribe because that really helps me out, and let's get into the video. This is the story of the first time that I flew. I've basically been terrified of flying since I can remember, and so I never thought that I would really need to fly too much. So when I started dating my boyfriend, who doesn't live in California like I do, I got scared about flying even more because I realized in order to see him, I'd probably have to fly. So that leads me to the story. So basically, I'm terrified of flying, but I wanted to see him. I needed to see him so badly that I decided that I was going to get the fuck over myself and make myself do this in order to see him. So I did my very best to put my fears aside and just do it, you know? Just force myself to do it. Sometimes I get all in my head about things, and as the story unfolds, you'll see how that affects me. I'm basically terrified of flying and, you know, plummeting to my death via the sky tube. So, yeah, there's always that to worry about, but I was still super excited, even though I was nervous, especially the morning before, to, like, actually get on the plane and all that stuff. I was terrified that I was gonna die. I don't know, I feel like I've had a lot of dreams and stuff where I die really young, so I don't know, all of those things were kind of stacking up in my head and not helping the situation, you know? So my flight wasn't really too long. I live in California, he lives in Arizona, so the flight was only about an hour and 45 minutes-ish, but on the other hand, I was also super scared because it was the first time I've ever flown, and I had to fly alone. I couldn't have anybody that I knew with me because it was just me going to my boyfriend's. So I was really terrified of dying, and I realized that if, you know, the plane had crashed or something, I would be dying alone with strangers, which is fucking terrifying. You know, like, at least if you're going on an airplane, usually you're going with someone that you know and you love and stuff, and so that helps out, I guess. I don't know. But that wasn't very helpful. But this idea that if we've crashed that I'd be dying surrounded by strangers was stuck in my head for about 45 minutes before I got on the plane. I arrived to the gate and I did all the check-in, the security, all the bullshit. And then I arrived in the waiting area and stuff right before, like, the area where you board and stuff. And so I was talking to my boyfriend on the phone because I was nervous, and he's flown like a trillion times, but I haven't. So he was like kind of reassuring me and stuff, and like on the phone with me, and I don't know, being really sweet and supportive, which is really helpful. Because even though, like, because now that I have flown, and in hindsight, I was being completely ridiculous. And so he was probably kind of getting annoyed because I was being so ridiculous, but at the same time, he didn't really show it, and he was really sweet about it. So I'm grateful for that. So about 45 minutes go by. I've calmed down as much as I'm going to before this flight, which still isn't a lot. And so it comes time to actually get on the plane. So we line up, and the thing, I beat my boarding pass and everything. I go and I sit. I go up the staircase thing to go on the airplane. I sit in the very back of the plane. I put my bag up in the overhead area, and then I go and I sit down. I sit down in the very back of the plane. And I don't know why, in my head, it feels safer to be in the back of the plane. Like, for some reason, mentally, sitting down, only the front half of the plane was going to be in the sky. So I decided to sit in the very back because it's safer. I don't know. I'm crazy. I don't know. So as I'm waiting, I'm sitting down, and I'm waiting for the plane to take off and stuff, which we sit there for probably 15 minutes, but it felt like 20, 25, because I was so nervous. I'm basically texting my boyfriend, my mom, One of my friends from work who I'm probably going to be filming a new video with soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't know, I think so, we were talking about the other day. And so I'm texting all of them, they're all like, oh, good luck, everything's going to be fine. Basically just reassuring me because they all know how nervous about things I get. And which was really, really sweet. But I don't know, I was still super nervous. I was like, oh my god, like, I don't know, in my head, things were like, oh, this is the last time I'm texting this person, like, I don't know, I'm extremely dramatic. I know, I sound so ridiculous in this situation, but that was how I was thinking about it sometimes. As it turns out, the flight that I was on actually wasn't super booked, so I got the whole back row, like the three. I got the whole back row to myself, so I didn't really have to worry about people, like, next to me being loud or smelly or annoying or anything like that. So that was super nice, but at the same time, I don't know, like, I didn't have anyone to talk to, so I was just sitting there, like, nervously doing whatever. Like, I think at one point, I have this tiny little notebook that I always have in my purse sometimes because I, like, write down ideas and stuff for YouTube. And so, like, I was, like, drawing in that, writing down ideas for that, like, terribly because my hands were shaking. And yeah, so I was doing that and, like, going through pictures on my phone, reading random texts because I couldn't, like, text anyone because I was in the air. And so that's basically what I was doing the whole time throughout the flight. And I don't know, it was only like an hour, 45-minute-ish flight. So it wasn't a super long flight. I probably would have freaked out if I had to be on there for like hours and hours. So I'm glad that it wasn't a very long one. But I don't know, I was still super bored. On the way back, I downloaded some games on my phone so that I can play them without like any internet and stuff, even though I got super bored of them on the way back like 20 minutes later, but I tried to entertain myself more than on the way there. But before we take off, the flight attendant or like the pilot, airplane people, I don't know what to call them, but the guy gets on like the overhead speaker and he's telling us like all the safety shit, which I've already forgotten by now. He's telling us all the safety stuff, and then like the little like light goes on to like put your seatbelt on. And I mean, very helpful light, but I've had this seatbelt on since I sat down because I'm a terrified ass little bitch. So yeah, I'm just sitting there waiting to take off with my seatbelt on as soon as I sit down because I'm terrified. And the flight itself wasn't super terrible. I heard from like my boyfriend and my mom and stuff that basically the takeoff and the landing are the more scary parts, which is kind of true, but at the same time, it's not that bad now that I look back on it. And so I was like waiting and waiting and waiting to take off, getting really, really nervous, not sure what it was going to feel like, and kind of scared because obviously it was something new to me, you know? So I actually did film like out my little window of us taking off and of us landing in Arizona. So I'm probably going to include that in the video somewhere. I trimmed those clips before I film this because it took up all the space on my phone, because I'm still recording on my phone because I'm saving up for a camera. So hey, so my hair's extremely frizzy and I look kind of shitty right now because I half did my makeup because I'm napping and I'm on my day off, and I'm in the middle of editing right now, and I just realized that in this clip right before this one that I actually said that I'm saving it for my camera and stuff, and by the time I'm actually editing this, I already bought it yesterday and I'm waiting for it to come, and I'm excited. And probably either this one or the one that I filmed right after filming this story time. I figured that those two videos will be the last ones I have to film on my phone because now I have my camera coming in the mail any day. And I'm super, super excited, so just a little update. Okay, let's go back to the video now. But, yeah. after takeoff, I had a lot of back and forth thoughts of like, oh, I'm gonna be fine. This is totally okay. This isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And then 10 minutes later, mentally, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die. Blah, 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 blah. I shouldn't have done this. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm a human. I belong on the ground, not in the air. I'm not a fucking bird. And then I'd go back and be like, no, 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 I'm being ridiculous. Like, this isn't necessary. I'm just stressing myself out and exhausting myself even more than I need to be. I'm already like super excited and like super pumped to go and see my boyfriend in general. But I don't know, I'm just like exhausting myself at this point because I'm like worrying so much. And then I like reassure myself and like in my head because I'm fucking crazy. And then I'd be like, oh my god, is the plane supposed to be this bumpy? Blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know, it was very back and forth, like mentally, which was very exhausting. And yeah, so basically I was back and forth between being convinced that I was gonna die and that I was overreacting for an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, until I landed, which wasn't the best. And I actually had to take a nap when I got to his house because I had exhausted myself to the point where I was literally unable to stay awake anymore. And I got off the plane at like noon. Like, I literally took a whole ass nap at like probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I'm ridiculous and I tire myself out being ridiculous. I don't know. So, unnecessarily long story short, I flew for the first time. I somehow didn't die like I was convinced I was going to. I had an amazing, amazing, amazing trip with my boyfriend and had some really amazing like relaxation time and stuff. It was really nice to not have to go to work. And I don't know, California, in hindsight, California comparably to Arizona, for my experience at least, is a lot faster and louder, and I had a really, really amazing time in Arizona and stuff. And yeah. And I had an amazing trip, and I'm back now if you can't tell. And I'm kind of easing myself back into recording and stuff because I did take a break to go to Arizona and to travel and stuff. So I guess this is kind of my segue, and I'm going to be doing more videos soon. Yeah. I want to say thanks to my boyfriend though, because I'm kind of just like this insane little nervous ball of nerves most of the time. I feel like he spends most of our time together like showing me how to chill the fuck out, so that's really nice. I very much appreciate that. And yeah, if you liked my video, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm gonna be making more videos soon, obviously. My goal is to start uploading twice a week. I was gonna start doing that before my trip, but then I took like 4 days to go there, and it's been a couple days since I got back. I've been working every single day since then, so I'm actually filming this before I go to work. I have like 15 minutes before I have to get changed and leave. But I love doing videos and it's all worth it. So if you guys want to leave a like and subscribe, comment down below if you've ever flown and how that went, or if you haven't flown and if you're scared. Yeah. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.